I heard you saying as well that you can heal any wound that you have had, that you have experienced in your life. You don't have to get stuck in your trauma and your wounds, because when you go into this healing through your heart, you can heal everything. Is that correct?
That's
Not
my
me.
feeling. My feeling is, and I've done a lot of trauma work, for many years. My feeling is that our heart's connection to the source of unconditional love, the source of our true self, is the greatest healer.
Mhm.
Now on a physiological level, a way that this can be understood is that the center of our brain, the amygdala, which is the center for emotional memory, it's holding all the collective memories of our trauma, of places that have impacted us in not nice ways. And those places get re-stimulated and they express, often even like without our permission, they just get re-stimulated and they come out in our emotional reactivity. And what's interesting about that is that, because I taught cognitive based approaches and, cognitive behavioral therapies for many years, is that the frontal lobes do not have a direct wiring to this amygdala. So very often we attempt to use logic to combat our emotional reactivity, but it doesn't work. Logic just doesn't work. So what ends up happening is, the amygdala gets reactivated and it's hurt and it feels violated and it's screaming, how dare you do that to me? And then the cognitive behavioral approach, or using logic, you say, it's okay, let it go. And the amygdala keeps screaming like hell, I'm going to let it go. They don't deserve my forgiveness. But what's interesting is that actually the physical heart has a direct wired connection to the amygdala. So when you really are centered in your heart and you say, let it go, you hear it, you get it on a much deeper level. And the amygdala can stop screaming and say, yes. So there's so many therapeutic benefits from leading a heart-centered life and learning to really be grounded in the experience of the heart. So through that connection to our heart, I feel there is a way also to access our heart's connection to unconditional love, to heal our deepest wounds, to help us to forgive in ways that we may not have been able to forgive previously.
Yeah. And we feel so complete. So now I don't know the English word. In German, it is geboren, when you hold a baby and it is just cuddling into your arms. And
yes.
I don't know the English expression. Very interesting. It's geborgen, so as it's in as we spread it out in Germany, the people will understand.
I hear you. It's there is this. I refer to it as an innate longing.
Yes.
In every human being,
yes,
there is this innate longing to feel profoundly safe.
Yes.
And unconditionally loved, like you're describing. When I just got back spending some time with my 4-month-old grandbaby, and you can see when he is feeling profoundly safe and unconditionally loved and just melting in my arms or in the caregiver's arms.
Mm-hmm.
And in that experience, in a sense, it's a microcosm
Mm-hmm.
of what we are all seeking on a macrocosmic level.
Yes.
And on that macrocosmic level, it's about who we really are
Mm-hmm.
through the doorway of our heart, that deepest part of us,
Mm-hmm.
in its connection with the true source of unconditional love, the source of who we are, that we feel profoundly safe, unconditionally loved, not as a concept,
Mm-hmm.
not as a mental construct,
Mm-hmm.
but as a living experience reality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.